Morning people, Saturday morning and we're back on it again. So I ain't done nothing for over a week because I've had a nice little break away with the family. So we got in 17 plates, 2008 in for a wet belt. Yep, so these ones are a lot easier than your Eco Boost, a hell of a lot easier. I took the liberty last night of draining the oil. That's already drained and done. I will be taking wheel off, inner guard out, sump off to clean all the pickup. And basically all of this lot disappears. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get into it now. Just going to put the sump plug back in, start getting all the wheel off, get a couple of the coils out, and then once I've got that, I'll bring you back and I'll show you how far we am. But I'm literally going to show you step by step on everything I do. Cheers, see you in a bit. Welcome back everyone. So back on it again. Right, as you can see, wheel arch is all out, wheels off. The reason why you take the wheel arch out because it gives you better access, because this is where the cam belt runs down, and beyond, just beyond this little cover here as well. So you'll see once I've got it stripped what's involved in it. I'll be pulling the sump off shortly as well to clean that. So up the top so far we've taken out all the airbox from this area, taken out the 3 coil packs. So far I'll put all the bolts into a tub so I don't lose them. So all there's left to do now is this area under the engine mount off, because you've got to drop the engine out with these, because these will not come out past it because of these. So all you got to do is literally just drop the engine down slightly, undo all the bolts off the inlet manifold, which are all around the back, undo all these fuel pipes off, make sure you don't break none of them if you are ever going to be doing one of them, and then this will reveal the top of the rocker cover. Then that has to come off, and then I'll show you then how all the cams get pinned up and everything else. So yeah, I'm gonna start taking all this lot off. At the same time I think I'm just going to take the sump off out the way as well. So yeah, I'll get back to you shortly once I'm a little bit further along. Cheers. Right, so here we are. Engine mounts now off. I've got the inlet manifold off from around the back, what come across the top of here. You can see literally how big it is. Just make sure, obviously, I've got these seals, I've picked them up because they were still stuck to the back of the head. These will be being replaced. I've got new ones to go on. So there's literally left now just to take this wiring off from the front, under the ring of bolts, and then this cam cover will be off, and it's literally ready then once I've taken out the inspection plate down here and pinned it up from underneath. But I will show you exactly how I pin it up and everything else. So yeah, I'll get everything ready. I'm going to get all this all off and then I'll get back to you straight away. Cheers. And welcome back. So rocker cover's all off. I've actually got this up top dead centre now, so I know this is in the correct place. So all it basically is this. I don't know if I can show you properly with one hand, but if you look closely at the end of these cams here, they're round at the top and they're flat on the sides. Both of them are exactly the same, flat on the sides, and that's how this literally will go over it. So you literally put a bolt in there, bolt in there, bolt in there, tighten this up, but it's this is only locking the cams. You've still got to lock the crank underneath, which is this little puppy here, that one just there, what's fell in the fan, and it's a bit, I've got it. So yeah, I will I'm going to try and put this in off camera because it's a bit awkward to try and film it and try and slide it in at the same time. So yeah, let me get this in and then I'll show you exactly where this goes and once it's all locked up. Okay, I'll be back shortly. So this is where we're at. Timing tools are all on, as you can see, which I showed you just previously. These are all on, locked over. That's all nice and tight now. These you can get away with feeding these off, but I never do. I'll be taking off the pulleys, so it just makes life a lot easier. All this is out the way, and I will literally show you now what I meant about the underneath. So obviously all filters off. I've got to take the sump off shortly. You can just see this bar here, and it goes up right up there, and it goes into an hole which goes into the flywheel. So this is locked. That literally slides in and locks the crank. That then gives me leeway to undo this. I can then undo this off and take off this little plate here now, and that's where you undo all the cam belt and the tensioners off and everything else. So once I've got this stripped off, I will get back to you. I'm going to pull the sump as well shortly, but I think I'm going to get the belt on first. Once I've done that, I'm going to come straight back to you and I'll show you exactly what it looks like with all the belt off. See you shortly. Okay, so it's all off. I did manage to get the belt out actually without taking them off, so I'm just going to quickly show you underneath. So this is where your belt comes round. It literally loops round underneath. Obviously this chain here, that chain runs your oil pump. Your oil pump sits down here. You can see your oil pump when you take the sump off, but you can't change the oil pump on these. It's there's one really tricky bolt where Peugeot thought it was really good to put it in place. So yeah, that there is your crank seal, which is that there. That's going to be changed, and this big gaping hole here is where your idler pulley goes and your tensioner, what tensions the belt, and literally the belt runs up over the cams, and that is literally all there is to it. So I'm just going to quickly show you what I've taken off. So I'll show you the belt shortly. These are the two pulleys I was telling you about. That's the bottom bit where the crank, it goes in, bolts into the crank, and then you've got literally your belt goes onto that bit there. So we've got new cam belt kit, new oil filter, new window plate gasket, which is for this, new rocker cover gasket, new crank seal, what I just showed you, new sump bolt and washer, and brand new crank bolt. And the oil is somewhere about, I don't know where I've put the oil. I think I've mentioned it enough times about oil on these cars, what you've got to do. Literally don't know what I've done with the oil. Oh, it's here. So yeah, 5W30 Magnatech. Now this has come from dealers, so people put 520 in different stuff, but this has come from dealers, so that's exactly what I'll be using. So yeah, now as for the belt, this belt looked pretty good, to be fair, when I first looked at this, but if you look carefully you can actually see the cracks in the belt. Now I didn't think there was anything the matter with this, but you can't never tell until you take the belt off. I don't know if you can just make out the cracks on the belt there. So yeah, this belt is cracked, and this guy literally services this car twice a year. And he also did say to me he used to put I think it was Manol oil in it off eBay, and I says no, Manol's good. I'm not knocking Manol, Manol's good oil, it's all right, but you should be putting Castrol, Shell, Mobil, any good stuff in these cars, and it's the actual oil that destroys the belt. So yeah, I'm gonna change the crank seal, I'm gonna feed the belt down, get it all on, and I'll come back to you and I'll show you once I've got all the belt on. See you shortly. So welcome back everyone. Right, cam belt's all on, new crank seals in, crank belt's still got to be tightened up, as you can see, new tensioner pulleys, new idler pulley there, and you can literally see the mark right there where it's got the line and the line. That's where you do it too. So yeah, that's all done. New cam belt's on, nice and tight. The sump is off, I've got the pickup off as well. To be fair, this pickup's nice and clean, but it all gets cleaned anyway. I will be cleaning it all. I'm just going to show you quickly underneath what I was on about. So, sump's all clean now. The area of the sump where it bolts onto the bottom of the engine is all nice and clean. This is your oil pump, and that was that little chain I was talking about, which is there. So yeah, this chain runs off the same gearing as what this runs off. So, you know, it's pretty clever how they do it. These do pack up. I've only ever had to change one of these once. We took off the sump and it was nice and clear. There was no oil pressure at all going up to the top. I don't know whether anyone will correct me on this, but once I even took off the second part of this, and there's a bolt that sits just behind, right by the flywheel area, I think it is, and we just could not get it out. So I rung my mate who does engines, and he said it's an engine and gearbox out. So yeah, we had to set the engine and gearbox out just to change this oil pump. If someone knows any difference, then yeah, gladly comment and tell me. You know, but I've never ever had to change any more than one. I've only ever had to change the one. So yeah, I'm just going to literally now put the new window gasket on here, put this back on, take off the timing tools, take out the pin here, and then I'm just going to rotate the engine a couple of times, make sure everything's all good with it, and then I'm going to clean all this back off because there's a little bit of oil you can see dripping down, and I'm going to clean all the sump up, reseal the sump, put the sump back on, and then we're good to go. I'm just going to start building all the top end back up. So yeah, I'll be back with you shortly when I'm a little bit further along. Welcome back everyone. So obviously belts on, taking all the timing tools off now, they're all off. I've taken the 1/8 on the crank as well. I've put on the bottom pulleys back on, aux belt is back on, and the water pump belt is back on, and obviously the window gasket plate's all back on. Put the pickup on, that's all been clean, that's all clean, nice now. So I'm just going to literally get the sealant now, put the sealant on the sump and put the sump on, and then that'll give that, I'm more than likely, I like to give them 24 hours to go off. So tomorrow morning, which will be Sunday, should be absolutely fine. You'll probably find it'll probably be fine by about 6 o'clock tonight, but I like to give it time to go off. So yeah, and here's the sump. Sump's all done, nicely cleaned. So yeah, all done. I'm just going to put the sealant on it now, put the sump on, and then literally once the sump is on, I'm going to start feeding around the inlet manifold. I'm going to start putting that back on, bolting all that up, rocker cover, etc, etc. But I will literally show you anyway at the end what parts have all been changed as well. So yeah, see you shortly. How's it going people? So where we're at, new rocker cover gasket's been put on, rocker cover's been put back on, inlet manifold's been put back on, engine mount's been put back on, and the sump is now on. So literally all that's left to do now is stick a new set of plugs in, because these ones, as you can see, they've got all burnt around on the edges there. So new set of plugs, put the coils back in, put this back on, fasten up some of the pipes at the back here, these little air pipes that go onto here, put the air box back in, and literally that is it, apart from the inner wheel arch, wheel to go back on. I'm not going to bother putting any oil in it at all until probably tonight, to be honest. But yeah, that's it, and I'll show you a bit more as I get a bit further along. See you in a bit. Welcome back everyone. So a bit further along now, everything is literally all back together. I've left these unplugged because I always like to turn it over on the key and get a bit of oil up. So there's a couple of little plugs to plug back on now, everything else is done. Airbox is all back on. Actually I'll plug that in while I'm here. So yeah, it's all literally done, it just needs oil in it. I'm going to get the new sump plug and literally stick the oil in it, but I'm not going to bother starting it for a good couple of hours yet, because I want to give that sealant time to go off. The plastic arch is all back in, so that's all done. It's just literally the wheel left to go on as well. Yeah, and then I will show you exactly what I've changed. So I'll be back shortly. See you in a bit. And welcome back everyone. So right, left to do now, I've got the new sump plug with a new seal on it. It's had 3 spark plugs. I think I showed you these earlier. Obviously it's had the timing belts, new rocker cover gasket, which is 2 pieces, new air filter. These are the 2 pulleys for the cam belts, idler tensioner, new crank seal, new crank bolts, and new window gasket, and obviously new oil filters here in the box. Like I said, all this came from Peugeot. I always buy everything from Peugeot, so yeah, all there as you can see. So yeah, I'm going to put the sump plug in now, torque it up, put the wheel on it, drop it down, put some oil in it, and then I'm going to leave it then for a good couple of hours for it to go off. So yeah, I'll get back to you as soon as I've got it running. Cheers, I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back everyone. So back in the Peugeot, it's been about 5 hours now, 5-6 hours, something like that. I'm just going to turn it over on the key. I've got no car packs connected, so it's not going to start. I just want to turn it over on the key. Just get a bit of oil up to the top. There you go, engine fault needed. So we'll so if I literally now put these car packs back in, and then that one back on, and then number 3. Okay, so all the car packs are all back on. There's nothing else left unplugged, everything else is all plugged in. Let's just see if it starts. First turn of the key, lovely. Yeah, it's brought up an engine fault because I've been turning it over with the car packs. So I'll get my diagnostics out and just clear that code. But as you can see, running perfect. Absolutely sweet as a nut. Absolutely bang on. So there you have it. All done and dusted. Another fresh one. Wet belt 2008. So there you go. Thanks for watching everyone. Hope you enjoyed all this content. There's going to be plenty more coming up. Cheers. See you soon.